All right, we are here with Threading the Needle Thursday with Benjamin Thomas. This is all a matter of sustained ability, folks. I'm Kurt Ross with the World Ability Podcast Network. We're pleased, proud, and privileged to have this program. Take it away, Ben. What you got for us today?
All right. Welcome to Thread Thursdays. Just give me 1 second. I'm actually pulling up my notes. But I'm glad to be here on Thursday. Today's about weaving your network. So give me just 1 second. All right. So welcome to Thread Thursday. We're streaming live on Area Judah worldwide on our YouTube channel via our dedicated Zoom Intercept feed with the Spirit of the Game Foundation and the World of Ability Network. We're going to be talking about three key topics today. The first is we're going to be talking about the drive to connect. So that's a relational mindset shift. So we're going to shatter defensive networking habits and embrace an unshakable drive to meet people. Two, we're going to go over rational alignment, mapping out the ecosystem and organizing relationships to logically find answers directly within your community. And then the third thing is referral engines and command. So we're going to talk about contextual alignment and how to build a self-sustaining referral market and issue the direct outreach command. All right. So today we open the doors back up and shift our focus entirely outward. On Movement Monday, we audited our money and momentum. On Tech Tuesday, we simplified our workflows. Yesterday, we protected our physical stamina. Today is about the human fabric that holds the entire movement together, network weaving. So let's change your perspective on relationships right now. Most founders and builders fail to scale because they approach people with a transactional, defensive mindset. They look at their inbox and ask defensive questions. Why are all these people reaching out to me? How do I find time for all these messages? Or worst of all, how do I make money off this person? So you got to kill that defensive posture immediately. You got to really tap into, the blessing of it all. You're being bombarded because you are a resource to your community and people are trying to get to you. And then also, when you need something, it might be staring back at you right in the face. Your competitor might even have an answer for you. You might ask yourself, why are they doing so well in this field? Like, how are they able to get so many leads? You might as well ask. So, networking goes beyond just the resources that you need, but it also goes to your competitors and naturally trying to grow and receive information everywhere you can. So we're going to kill that defensive posture. On Thread Thursday, we drop the walls. I don't care if your natural personality leans antisocial or if you prefer quiet isolation. As a founder, a leader, and a humanitarian operator, you must develop an unshakable internal drive to meet people. So you have to meet people no matter who they are, where they come from, or what the initial conversation is about. So be honest with yourself. Take note. Who is your ideal referral partner? Who sends you a lot of business? Who's your ideal customer or community that you want to impact? And who are your major competitors or people doing the same thing as you? Write those three things down and maybe just send a DM or a text message to all the people who are aligned. But just make sure that you have clarity on who you need to reach out to. In the world of social equity and real humanitarian impact, competition is a myth. We embrace surrounding industries, we learn from their friction, and we find the answers for our biggest operational problems directly within our community. So consider your competition peers, consider people in an adjacent industry, a referral partner. Make sure you take advantage of the resources that are already low hanging fruit that you can reach. All right, so putting reason to the relationships is the second part. All right, so now let's look at the science. Okay, look at the facts. Being a people person is not enough on its own. So loving conversation without a structure just leaves you with a phone full of random contacts and no real execution. Our framework is about putting cold reason to our human relationships. So we use structural logic to organize our community into a dynamic, interconnected network market. Think of your network as an operational chessboard. Your job is to understand the exact strengths, assets, and bottlenecks of every person and organization you interact with. When you track that data systematically inside your master ledger or database, you stop guessing and you start weaving. So look at the organizations sitting locally around you in Nashville or across your virtual networks. I'm in Nashville, so my notes are directed towards myself. So make sure you hyper target your city. When a startup founder or like a missionary partner hits a massive logistical wall, you don't look outside for external saviors. You look directly into your ecosystem. You connect spoke A to spoke B. So put in the comments the name of an industry or service right now that your operation needs help with today, and what capability are you currently missing in your operation. So look at the needs coming into the feed. Hopefully, I'll get some, message from you guys. I'm always, telling folks, since you're not going to show up to the live recording, to send me a text message or a call. So hit me up 615-821-9662 if you want to go over your network goals. But someone in your circle is already turning, their network into, a financial resource. So you should do the same thing. All right. So by mapping out your relationships logistically, you turn isolated context into an active, self-sustaining community. All right. So the third part is contextual referral markets in the solo command. So when you put reason to your relationships, you create a powerful contextual referral market. You stop offering generic introductions and start engineering precise, high-value connections based entirely on real-time operational needs. When a partner comes to you with a project management crisis, you route them directly to a vetted ally inside your network who can solve it by hand. You become the central infrastructure that facilities trust, traffic, and value between overlapping industries. You strengthen your own project management agreements, elevate your personal authority, and ensure that every organization in your orbit prospers together. So here's your Thread Thursday command. Open your communications matrix or phone contacts right now. Identify 3 people in adjacent fields, surrounding industries, or overlapping nonprofit networks. Reach out to them today, with zero transactional agenda. Ask them what they're building on the ground, map their current capabilities, and look for a way to align their strengths with somebody who's already in your circle. Build the network market by hand today. All right, so tomorrow is Fun Friday, where we step up for our weekly wrap up, celebrate the ground we conquered over the last 5 days, clear the remaining desk baggage, and enforce a hard log off so we can protect our long term stamina. So before we cut the feed today, if you are a high performing founder, a leader running a social equity startup, or humanitarian operator out in the field doing real work on the ground, we really want to hear your story. Contact me through arieljudah.com or my cell phone 615-821-9662. We'd also love to have you apply as a guest on Building Trust podcast, where we're telling the stories of leaders in their community who've made a huge impact based on relationships. So if this podcast really resonated with you, we have another show that we'd love to bring you on to. And then we're also doing that through the Trusted Trade Hub, which is our strategic networking startup, which I'm the co-founder of. So yeah, let's put cold reason to our relationships and build uncompromised equity together. Remember the house law. What's fun gets done. Step out of isolation, weave your network, and let's execute. Have a great day.